Amazing.
Great, absolutely great stuff, mate. There's the exact performance that I was expecting and was hoping for. Um, I put it down here as a hard fought win. I thought we did exactly what we needed to do, and we were patient. Really, everyone across the field patient, worked hard. Um, Big physical battle. The scoreline reflects it was a tight tussle, but massive. Ash, just want to throw this one back to you. What was your thoughts on the win so far? That performance. What would you describe it as in terms of your view?
Yeah, hard fought, bro. Exactly how you put it there. Honestly, we were happy to get in the grind. We knew we could come away with the contest late in this game if we just continued to hold in. I think in majority of the facets of the game, we were very dominant, like field position wise. Defensively able to hold the Roosters down the opposite side of the field. There was moments where they cracked us on the sidelines, but our cover defense was really, really strong. Just really, really happy to see the boys lean into. We got an amazing forward pack with guys that are willing to hold into the contest, and we're using them to that ability. Luke Metcalf and Chanel, they're going to take time before that the set plays are going to really come off and look as slick. But there's still moments within our individuals. Ali Leotoa, cracking the game open. Charles Nickel Clockstack having an amazing game in this contest here. Just a hard-fought victory, bro, against a side that has been up in confidence since that Penrith game, and they got big troops back in their lineup. So, great performance.
No, man, absolutely. I just want to quickly do some quick hitters, and we'll keep getting to the chat as well. But Ali Leotoa, man, talk to me about that performance from him, the solo efforts, the tackles, the hits, everything that he was involved in. Is this guy a future talent that we have amongst our crop that we can be really excited about for the future?
People want to talk about X Factor. People want X Factor in our Warriors side, and this kid got it in spades. Just a big body, moves so well. 112 meters in this contest tonight against a guy that a lot of people have been talking up. Obviously, Mark Nawangani-Tuase, who has had some big moments as well. 2 line breaks in this contest, 5 tackle breaks, looks strong in defense as well. He moved really well. Bro, a kid for the future, and I can't wait to see in future time him maybe get a Kiwis jersey, because he definitely can be lined up for it in the future as well. 17 tackles made, only 1 missed. Ali Leotoa, amazing performance.
Absolutely. Just like I said, the guy can sniff a try out. Short ball last week against Manly. This one, early ball for him on the outside, working mark. Getting that low center of gravity. Even though he's a tall guy, he just knows how to get over that line. I thought, well, good patience from Metcalf, everyone on that side to get that play over. No, I think he definitely is a talent that we should be looking at in the future.
Agreed.
But, mate, it's like, and just quickly going back onto this topic here, the young boys early on. Dimitri got his head out. Yes, he dropped 2 balls, but he was dominant defensively, carries. Leka came off for a good period there with Maratov. Absolutely killed it. What was your thoughts on Webby giving the young boys more time and them individually showing that they've got the goods to be at this level?
Well, this is the thing, right? Is, if we got to ease these guys into first grade, give them little performances where they can gain confidence from. And I think Leka is going to gain a lot of confidence from this performance as well. Went up against a scary edge back rower, probably the best edge back rower in the competition of Angus Crichton. In that period, 31 minutes he played in this game. Everyone was worried about obviously his minutes. 7 runs for 90 meters, 47 post-contact meters with 5 tackle breaks. Every time we saw him, it legit looked like it took 3 or 4 men to get him on the ground. And he's not a big body either. I just love his intent. I love his aggression. We're definitely going to see more of him in the future. And guys, before he gets a full starting role, I think that maybe late this year, maybe next year, it will come. But when he takes that, I don't think he's going to let it go. I think this kid's got an amazing future. Defensively, 15 tackles, only 2 missed on the edge. Those 2 missed, I didn't really notice either. I thought he was really strong in both areas of his game. So shout out to Leka. Definitely a guy to struggle to hold down. And on Dimitri, 19 minutes in this game, but in the crunch minutes, that was really good to see. Showed a lot of trust with Webby. A couple of errors in that game, but he still had a lot of great moments. That first carry in the first half, off the back fence, started that intent, from the start of the half. So, great work from him as well. 67 runs off 6 runs for 67 meters, 38 post contact. I thought he was really solid in the middle as well.
That was my only gripe with Webby, was the use of the boys at crunch moments. we saw that adjustment tonight, which I was very impressed with. Again, relatively so, I think against a much more physical forward pack in the Roosters, I knew Webby would have to go to the bench quite early, and he did. So I was really happy that he chose Dimitri and called on him, knowing that he needed him. And I thought Dimitri did really well. You know, we had
Agreed.
those 2 areas. We said that's part of being a young player. And
Yep.
after that, he just kept going to work. Lecker for me was just, mate, the strength he has. It's insane because he's quite he's not thin, but he's like, he doesn't appear to be this massive, strong unit. But mate, he can carry. And the offload to that second try for CHT, I thought that offload, that second phase got Tane going, and then the crossfield for CHT, I thought was absolutely awesome. So I got to give a lot of credit to our young boys stepping up in this game in a tight tussle where an error could lead to the other team scoring, you know. So it was a massive play there. Just want to go now to the halves. I know see some people asking for Tamari in the chat. I can see that, but you can't fault these halves tonight based on their game plan. Yes, it isn't the type of fluidity. I mean, me and Ash at times thought maybe they could go to double lead shape at times. They maybe could have gone to the ground a little bit more. But to be honest, they're kind of working within their skill set and structure. I actually really like this game plan. It's very active halves. They weren't just tipping it on for the sake of passing it on. They both attacked the line when they could. But what did you make of the halves? I thought they delivered again within the structure and played a good game.
Yeah, again, we know that it's going to be a slow build with these two. You know, Luke Metcalf learning that halfback jersey in first grade. You know, he came through the grades as a halfback, then got moved to a 6 and a fullback at the Newtown Jets and stuff. But he's got all the ability in the world to be a good halfback. I thought that his kicking game was fairly solid in this one. 345 kicking meters in this one. Chanel, on the other hand, 310 as well. So both these boys had a decent kicking boot under him. It was the type of game that we had to just get in with the grind. I do think that there will be a lot of learning lessons there too. But defensively, both these boys did fairly solidly as well. I thought in the contest, not really any line breaks that came through them from memory. Obviously the attacking output wasn't as incredible as last week. No 36 points, Luke Metcalf try. Those are the things people are going to be looking at. But, we got a really good win. I didn't think our halves put us out of the contest. I do think that they could have took it up and, put more points on the board. But that's more of a positive thing, right? And I think that comes later on in the season. So back-to-back wins will do them all the confidence in the world. And I'm sure Webby will continue to point out little things in their game and they'll continue to grow for the season. So we knew this was going to be something that takes a little bit of time. But it's good to see we get a couple of wins on the board as well and have the ability for these guys to continue to learn on the job.
Yeah, and look, it's always good to learn on the job when you're winning, It takes the pressure off you. It allows you to correct your mistakes because you've banked those 2 points, So I think give them time, give them more opportunities, facing different defenses, different teams with different patterns. I think give credit to both of them defensively. They've been holding in really strong. They haven't been like they've been targeted as a weakness defensively, and they've held their own. So kicking game, I love the balance too. I enjoy both the balance. The kicks, we maybe had 1 or 2 kicks that could have had a bit more height on them, a bit more air on them. Apart from that, they were really solid all around. So I can't really fault the halves. Sure. Yeah. I fault the halves and sticking within. Like we even said, don't force it unless you have to. Build the patient game, and then they pulled the trigger, obviously, with Leotoa and CHT getting his own. I thought absolutely awesome, So.
And to put it with this too, bro, this is back-to-back weeks that we've had team performances, right? We've been calling out for this a little while. Years past, Sean Johnson didn't turn up, the Warriors didn't turn up. We had Luke Metcalf and that not have their hands all over this performance there. The performance was really across the board. Lecker, Ali Leotoa, our forward pack was incredible. Fisher Harris, Barnett, Jackson Ford for the stint he had, Aaron Clark. Every one of our boys stepped up. Chance Nickel Clockstag, Tane Chuapiki. I think that helps our halves as well. And we're not a team reliant on someone having an incredible individual game like Luke Metcalf probably could have in moments. So he'll have those games where he's going to be incredible. Everyone's going to cheer for him. But when he doesn't have those games where he has a game like tonight where he's just got us around the park and, we're kicking to corners and we're holding a team down the opposite end of the field, I think the team, winning those moments just shows that we are a team-based side at the moment, not an individual-based side. So that's what I love to see.
Yeah, we've always talked about the balance and being the responsibility sitting on the shoulders of, multiple people, not just one. And
Yeah,
I like the look of that. And yeah, it doesn't look technically right at times. There are missed opportunities, but I like that everyone's giving it a crack. Everyone's giving it a go. It's not falling on one man to create everything. So I definitely give it. Shout out to Shen, man. Appreciate the $10, man.
woo,
We broke it. The fortress. I asked for the fortress. We need to build off this. Like, this is what gets
we
you
do.
those extra wins, especially in the NRL. We know how tight it is. You have to get those wins, and if you can do it at the fortress at home, look 2-0 right now. Looking really good, really really good.
Exactly,
Thank you, Shen.
exactly. Thank you, Shen.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Look, man, let's just go to one of the mans that really stood out here, CNK. I was going bonkers. He must have been at the bookies. He must have had 200 plus meters. He must have had some money because he was taking nearly every carry. This guy, but we needed it. He took every carry, and they were good carries too, man. But what would make you, what do you make of that performance from CNK? I thought was absolutely wonderful from him.
Unbelievable performance, bro. Unbelievable. Had that one moment with the 40-20 from Chad Townsend that he definitely needed to get there. And that's the only worry with him is he works himself to a standstill. I think that's what a lot of people probably look at is he does look lazy in moments, but people forget all the other work that he gets through off the back of that. So 314 run meters on NRL.com, 30 runs that he took in that game. 72 kicking return meters, 95 post contact meters, 2 line break assists, 2 try assists, 7 tackle breaks. Like, bro, just like a workhorse out of the back end. And, when he has games like this, it's like the whole reason of why he just reminds me of, people can call him the poor man's Dylan Edwards, but we're getting a similar sort of output of what a Dylan Edwards and a Connor Tracy sort of do for their sides. And those teams seem to buy in together and they have performance the way they do. Chance is in that similar boat. He's just going to work for us week in, week out. He'll work himself to a standstill, but he has games like this. As I said, he's a guy that can average 200 meters per game out of the back end. And I think that helps so much when we don't have someone like Adam Fanor-Blake in the forward pack and just allow the forward pack to just focus defensively overall. So great game from CNK.
Yeah, great. I thought he nailed those ones because we desperately needed them, and I mean each carry that he had was bang on. We'll love to see more of that from CNK, but really it's good to see that performance, especially when some people questioning him. Yeah, the 40-20 was like he was in a dream. When you're a dream, you can't quite get away from the person chasing you. It was like I was watching a dream. Like hurry up and get there, Chance. He was just literally jogging. He was like fast walking. So, but no, I thought apart from that, everything he did was bang on as well. Just quickly touch on the back five. Tane, Roger when he was on, Pompey. That their edge defense looked really solid too.
Agreed.
What do you make of the back five tonight? I think just continuing to take a leaps and bounds with his progression as a winger.
All right, let's go through some of these run meters here. So Tane Tuapiki 101 off the back of Chance's 314, Ali Lautar 112, Adam Pompey 135, and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck before the hamstring injury, which we all hope is okay. Not too long, but 137 run meters. So as a combined, we're looking at majority of what some teams can get out on the output wise, just out of our back end. I thought they were incredible. I think the big key was defensively. There was moments where our edges got tested, and I think our cover defense and a lot of the movements that our boys did was really solid tonight. You had to contend with someone like Dominic Young that, again, has a lot of speed on that edge, and I thought that we put Robert Toya under a lot of pressure, created a lot of errors out of Robert Toya. James Tedesco had a lot of good moments running with the football, but, didn't have a lot of great moments attacking with the football. I thought, passing ability, he had 1 or 2 moments in that game, but, in general, very, very happy with that back five, bro. Tane Tuapiki continues to show out. He's a footballer, and I cannot wait to see the New Zealand Warriors with him at fullback in the future because he will be our future fullback. And then Adam Pompey to finish out the game on the wing gives us a lot of confidence that maybe we can run Adam Pompey in weeks to come. I know you want to touch on it. On the wing, so we don't have to put up Gossie or Harper just at the moment, and Rocco Berry can come into this lineup.
Actually, want to get right to that now. Who replaces RTS? And we got a little sneak peek with Pompey there. Now, with Pompey in our past, probably 21, 22, maybe even earlier, he has played a bit of wing for us. Is quite good on the wing, actually. I wonder if Berry, if he's up for it, do you think he comes in and maybe Pompey to the wing? Otherwise, there are options with Kossi.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Cup, boys? I didn't, but I'm wondering how Kossi's going or even Harper. What's your report so far on that, Ash?
Yeah. I thought that for me, it would be the change of I would have Rocco Berry come into the center and cover for Bumpy center. I don't know if I can break up Ali Lato on that other side now, which is
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
I know.
usually Rocco's preferred side too. So I
Yeah.
am curious to see how Webby works with that because I know that people will be like, they should be playing both sides, but some NRL players have preferred sides and they defend better on those sides. And Rocco's defense is unreal. And Ali Lautar has showed the ability that he can play on both sides. So I would prefer to put Adam Bumpy at the fullback, at that wing. Sorry, I think that he obviously kick diffuses fairly well. He's work out of the back end. He's got good post contact meters as well. And I'd probably rather that over seeing Ed Gossi or Harper there just at the moment. I thought both of them had decent performances in Cup today. Obviously, a big performance from our Cup side.
Yeah.
Harper's very safe under the high ball, but he doesn't really have the X factor. But you get the safeness of him, which is good, and the experience of first grade. Gossi had a really good game, I thought, in Cup today. Defensively, he shut down a lot of plays. But we know what we're going to get with Gossi. It's very rocks and diamonds. And that's the thing is like consistency, inconsistency. Depending on Webby, I'll probably go Bumpy and Harper over the top of Gossi right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's weird because sometimes the transition from Cup to the first grade, the Cup player, depending on who it is, was always kind of out of sync a little bit. Just that feel with the players around them. I would actually go with Pompey in the situation.
Yeah.
Just because of fluidity and knowing who he's working with.
Yeah.
I mean, even that little stint there with Catewell and Pompey, you could maybe build off of that if you weren't too confident with the Berry, maybe. But,
Exactly.
there's something about just having your first team combos and having that fluidity. But I agreed, it could happen. I mean, if they call them up, we'll support the boys anyway. But
Agreed.
yeah, I think there's a few options there. But let's hope that this isn't a big hamstring strain. We'll have to get that one, but I'm probably going to say at least a week or two off minimum. So probably need to look at who that option would be that would work best, even if Berry is ready. Yeah, sorry.
With that, sorry, bro. We've got the West Tigers next week in Leichhardt, and then we got our bye from memory, right?
Okay. Yep.
So, overall, I just want to double check that to make sure I'm right. But
yeah,
I'm pretty sure our bye comes up after the West Tigers next week. So we can run with the player next week and hopefully come away with the victory. We got West Tigers. And then, where's our draw? Round 5. Round 5, we got the bye. So we can run with that if it's only a couple of week play. Maybe it is a hemi tweak, and that's the best case scenario. But if it's a pull, we're looking at probably multiple 5, 6, maybe a little bit longer. So Dallon's not back till round 10, 11, 12.
Round 10 easy.
So
yeah,
it's a little bit of time too.
Like I think we've got a 9-day turnaround. Anything can happen. I mean, maybe this is really light. We'll have to wait and see. But this is a really good. Like I think this is a good start to the draw. Actually, I will just touch on that for now. But just 2-1 at the moment, really, really great. And we probably predicted the wrong wins to be. We probably thought Manly would come here and win. We got that one. Roosters looked dodgy too at the time, but I think all of us knew in the off season that those losses would add up, and they have. And so now we've got a chance to go 3-1 at Leichhardt, which would be a massive game going into the bye. That gives you 8 points off the bat and a great start, to your season to get to that magic number of 32, 34.
Exactly.
What are you expecting from here, at least up until the bye? Do we have a good chance maybe going against the Tigers next week with that extra day's rest too?
Yeah, well, that extra day hopefully helps out really nicely. Obviously, we've got to make the trip over to Australia, so that can fill in, obviously, with the travel over. I'm happy with the start to the season in a way of, we definitely did predict the wrong game to loss here. But if I look back at it, though, I'm a lot prouder of the way it's kind of gone in a way. Vegas was definitely a sore point, but looking how the Raiders start the season, how they start the season multiple seasons, they took off the Broncos that have started really, really hot. over the Roosters, right? 50-point scoreline they put over the Roosters. The Raiders did exactly the same thing to us that what they did to them. And that forward pack of Payne Haas and Teddy Carrigan end up having to play sideways around the Raiders. So it's kind of like the Raiders are really, really hot at the moment. That happened, but to beat the Seagulls, which is a team I always worry about to start the season, they're majority going to be more than likely going to be a top 4 side, and the Roosters, where I wasn't so high on the Roosters this season, but they really turned up in that contest. They made us dig deep there, and they had a really good performance over the Penrith Panthers last week. So that's a positive look as well. So I'm pretty happy with those 2 wins over 2 games. So I was kind of looking at like, maybe we do drop them. So 2-1, really good. Would be nice to go 3-1 with the West Tigers. I think we have the ability to go at West Tigers and play the long game and come out with a victory. But at Campbelltown, it's going to be a tough one.